past few months have been so chaotic because, well, I moved. It has been a process getting the new space together, but while I have been unpacking and organizing, I actually had a little bit of downtime. So naturally, I spent it playing games, and the Steam Summer Sale 100% did not help. I played quite a few titles over the last couple of months, some completely surprised me, and others I honestly probably should have saved my money. Anyways, we're gonna be going through what I've been playing lately and figuring out which games are a buy, pass, or for you to grab on a sale. To kick things off, we have Moonlight Peaks. I actually picked this one up on the Nintendo Switch too because honestly, I don't really have that many games on the Switch. And when I saw that this was basically a cozy farming sim where you play as a vampire, I was immediately interested. I love when a game takes something familiar and puts its own spin on it, and I was really curious to see if the actual vampire theme made this feel different from all of the other farming sims I've played. Now in this game, you play as a vampire who's moved to their family's abandoned homestead, trying to prove to your skeptical father that there's more to being undead than just being undead. From there, you're growing crops, crafting, exploring, completing tasks, and slowly building up your homestead. It doesn't completely reinvent the farming sim formula, but taking that similar gameplay loop and giving it a fun vampire twist gives the mechanics a little bit more personality. One thing that did throw me off a little bit was the character designs. When the characters are running around, they almost look like little children, and yeah, I definitely had to get used to that. The music though, I really enjoyed it. It's super calming and really relaxing when you're just running around, finding new resources, or just working on your crops. It just really fit that whole cozy feeling perfectly, so I definitely think they nailed the audio in this game. Now performance-wise, it ran pretty well. I thought I had some stuttering in small areas and a few glitches where I got stuck behind plants with absolutely no way out. Once I got into summer, the gameplay started feeling a little bit repetitive. That's where I stopped being able to justify the full price. At one time, I was full 100% buy this game, and now I can maybe see myself coming back to it eventually to 100% it, but for me right now, I definitely think that Moonlight Peaks is going to be on a sale. Also picked up The Wandering Village on the Steam Summer Sale. It's available on Xbox, PlayStation, and the Nintendo Switch. The art style was what initially pulled me in. It has this really beautiful hand-drawn like Studio Ghibli storybook look to it, but once I actually started playing the game, I quickly realized that this is not exactly the peaceful little city builder I was expecting. Like any city builder, 1 second everything can be going perfectly fine, and the next your entire town is starving and everyone is threatening to leave. But somehow I really enjoy that. The world has basically been poisoned by toxic spores, so instead of building on the ground, you're building your settlement on the back of a giant creature, which is constantly wandering through this dangerous world. You're managing your villagers' needs while also keeping the creature healthy and just deciding where to travel next. I can have everything under control one moment and feel like my village is running so smoothly, and then suddenly something happens and I'm scrambling to figure out what went wrong and how I can fix it. This game ran really well on a Steam Deck for me, and honestly, this is a perfect game to play on handheld. Between the constant survival tension and just how unique the concept feels, this one keeps you on your toes without feeling like you're constantly being punished. So this one for me is definitely a buy. The next one I also got back on Steam Summer Sale for PC. Retro Relics immediately caught my attention because of the whole idea of metal detecting and finding a little pieces of history sounded right up my alley. You play as someone following in the footsteps of your late grandpa, who was a passionate metal detectorist. The premise is pretty straightforward. You go out with your metal detector, search different areas, dig up buried relics, and slowly learn more about the history behind what you find. Visually, I really like pixel art. I have always had a soft spot for this style. It gives the games a really nice old school feeling that just fits that nostalgic charm perfectly, and that's exactly what this game did. Performance-wise, everything ran pretty smoothly besides one issue, which I will talk a little bit more about. There's a little bit of progression with the metal detector, which I enjoyed. You can upgrade it as you play, and it gives you just a reason to keep looking for relics and exploring new areas. But at the same time, I think I was expecting a little bit more depth in this game overall. I went into this expecting there to be more tools or mechanics to manage, but it stays pretty simple throughout. You go level by level finding relics. Now, unfortunately, I also ran into an issue in the second area where the game wouldn't let me dig in a specific spot I needed to progress. I had already spent an hour getting through the first part of the game, so I honestly really didn't want to restart my save through just to see if that would fix it. That definitely took some of the enjoyment out of it for me, and I just didn't want to pick the game back up after that. Now, the main story is only around 3 to 4 hours. I don't really feel like there's enough here to make me want to go for another playthrough. It's not a bad game. If you're looking for a short, relaxing little adventure with some cute pixel art and the idea of digging up old relics sounds interesting to you, you might actually enjoy it. But for me, the lack of depth and the progression issue just made me not want to finish up the game. Now, so this one would definitely be pick it up on a sale for me. I'm not too sure what took me so long to play this next game, but Kynseed, this game has completely sucked me in. My husband actually told me, I haven't seen you play a game like this in a while, and honestly, he's right. It was getting to the point where it was basically all I wanted to play. Kynseed is a life adventure RPG set in this really whimsical fairy tale-esque inspired world called Quill. There's a main story involving the Grandmasters and the Jabberwock, but you're not forced to stick to it. You start in your uncle's farm, and from there you get so much freedom to decide what you want to do with your life, like farming, running businesses, building relationships, crafting, or even exploring. I'd start the day thinking, okay, I'm gonna go work on this quest, and then I would pass something on the way, and suddenly my entire day is gone in a completely different direction than I intended. The world has so much personality, and the sound design has that cozy, slightly mysterious feeling that just makes exploring really enjoyable. The performance ran pretty smooth for me. I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface yet, and this is exactly the kind of game that I can get completely lost in, so it is most definitely a buy for me. I went into the little shop expecting a completely different kind of game than what it actually is. I saw a game about running your own little shop, pictured myself walking around in third or first person, just organizing everything, interacting with customers, and actually running the shop as my character. Now, in this game, it's so much more of a macro shop management game. You start small, place furniture and storage, manage your inventory, and expand as you make money while balancing supply and demand during seasonal events. The little shop and furniture have really charming in a cozy medieval visual style, and the performance ran well for me. And the more that I played, the more I could actually see the appeal to the game. There's something really satisfying about starting in this tiny little shop and just slowly building it up into something bigger and more efficient. That being said, I don't think that this is necessarily a game that I would gravitate towards all the time. It's probably something that I come back to when I'm bored or I just don't really know what to play, and I just want something to sit down and slowly work on. I can definitely see myself getting that one more upgrade feeling once the shop actually starts growing. Now, if you love management games and the idea of optimizing a shop while watching it grow sounds satisfying, I can definitely see this being your kind of game. So while this isn't exactly what I thought I was getting myself into with this game, I don't think I would call it a straight up pass anymore. It's more of a pick it up on a sale for me. I wasn't really sure what to expect from Nimbit Frontier going into it, but the more that I played, the more I started getting that feeling that I used to get playing some of the older Pokemon games. You're exploring an underworld called the Underwild, collecting genetic fragments from creatures called Nimbits and bringing them home to hatch, build habitats for, and train. But the twist I really loved is that you're not trying to collect every creature and keep them forever. The whole point is actually to raise them and eventually release them back into the sanctuaries to restore the world. The roguelike loop is going into dungeons, gathering parts, coming home to incubate eggs, and returning creatures to the wild, which ended up being super satisfying. Visually, the hand-drawn 2D art style and the coloring is gorgeous. It ran pretty well at a 60 frames per second with just a few minor frame drops. It did drop a little bit more when I was playing it on my Steam Deck as well. One thing that did get a little frustrating for me was trying to get all of my Nimbits up to S tier. Some of the requirements were pretty specific, and there were just a few that I honestly could not figure out what the game wanted me to do. But I did like having that extra goal to work towards to get them to S tier. But when I honestly couldn't figure out how to meet a certain requirement, I definitely found it more frustrating in those times than satisfying. Even with that, I genuinely want to find all of the creatures just so I can raise them and release them back into the world. There's something about that loop that kept making me want to go back out and just find one more Nimbit. Now, Nimbit Frontier is definitely a buy for me, and that is everything that I have been playing lately. Moving definitely made the last few months a little chaotic, but getting to sit down and play some of these games in the middle of all the chaos was exactly what I needed. If you played any of these games, let me know what your verdict would be. Would you buy them, pass, or get them on a sale? Now, if you're looking for your next cozy game, make sure you subscribe because I have plenty more for you to try. Until next next time. So happy gaming.